Over full of smiles and sass this morning, babe.
Smiles and sass.
In my old Kentucky home, good night. Weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home far away.
Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. I am Zach.
And I'm Jen.
And today is our favorite day of the week, garden walk time. So last week's garden walk, we kind of did a little different, showed you our harvest and what we was gonna do to preserve them. This one's back to more of a normal, walking through each plant, because we've been kind of neglecting the garden for about a week due to our circumstances that we had, and we got some issues.
We do. A lot of good though too. A lot of good, some bad. More good than bad, but.
That's right. A lot of stuff that you all are facing as well. We're gonna tell you what we're gonna do and hopefully keep them surviving, but maybe not. So let's just get right into it.
Do it.
Hey, okay, so let's go over here to where we're first having an issue. But first, check out our shirts. So if you all remember, way back when we harvested our beets, Jen had all kinds of lines in her. Smiles and sass, and then I had mentioned that pickled beets are like an unhealthy carrot, you know, after you throw all the brown sugar and everything on top of a carrot, that's what a beet tastes like. Well, Julie at Out to Pasture Farms, but it's Broken Superstitions, is her design company. She's the one that does all of our shirts, our logos, and all that different stuff. We finally got our shirts in. So she's got Smiles and Sass, and I got beets. They're like unhealthy carrots. They're awesome shirts too. The material is really nice too, but if you're interested in that, her link's always below down in the description, but we just wanted to show those. They thought they were really cool. So the bed we're having the issues with.
All right, so this is our tilled garden. It's squash, zucchini, and then over there is pumpkins.
And a couple sunflowers.
Yeah. So it's August 2nd now.
Is it?
So this is the longest that we have ever kept squash and zucchini. You know, usually they peter out early on or they have issues and stuff, but this is the longest that we've ever kept them, and now we have squash bugs.
Squash bugs!
They are everywhere. As you can see, the plants are still okay.
For the most part.
We have lost one. One was completely gone. So we pulled that up. We're trying to kill them with soapy water. We're also using neem oil, and I think I'm gonna order some diatomaceous earth. We should have some on hand, but we haven't had this problem, so that's just not really something that we keep because we don't have too much of an issue. But I'm gonna order some. If y'all have a specific brand, let me know. I'm just looking on Amazon because I love Amazon.
Yeah, we'll just get the food grade that they got on there.
Yeah.
But go ahead, sorry.
It's bad. They're literally taking over. They're hatching eggs. Their babies are coming out. There is a lot of spiders in here, which I'm hoping are, you know, trying to combat the problem and hopefully do their job, but they're everywhere. You can start to see it on the plants. They're eating them. They're wilting. They're just not doing their hottest. They are still producing, which is nice. We're still getting zucchini and squash every single day. So with it being August 2nd, it is what it is at this point. We're gonna continue to let them put off fruit, and we're gonna get all the fruit that we can, and when they die, they die. We'll rip them up, treat the bed, and maybe think about planting something for fall, maybe some cabbage or something, but I want to get rid of all the bugs first.
Yeah, and folks, this is what happens when you're not in your garden basically every single day. We haven't had a single squash bug problem until now, and we haven't been in here No, it's, what are you? You're a grasshopper. Get out of here. We haven't had any issues at all, but that's because we're constantly in this garden. And so when we're keeping up on the neem oil, it might not actually kill squash bugs, but it deters them. So if you can keep them away, that works. But once they're there, and it's hard to get rid of them. But after you spend about a week and you get the squash bugs, this is what your plants start looking like. Where?
Right there.
Yep, there you are. Little booger.
Ow!
What? My bad.
There are things you can do. You know, you can pick the eggs off when you see them, but you got to be in here. You got to be able to see it. You can pick the eggs off, you can pick the bugs off, you can, you know, do the soapy water, do the neem, but in our case, it's just, I think it's over. So yeah, you can still see the bees in here pollinating everything.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
I mean,
they're still doing their job.
Yeah.
But we still, I mean, like Jen said, we're still producing. We're gonna let them produce for a while until things start getting out of hand. And right now, they're starting to get out of hand. Oh,
yeah.
Look, there you. Just a party up in there. Is that 3 of them? Get it, y'all. Get it. You trying to get pollinated over everybody?
But my freezer's full. I've got bread everywhere. I froze all kinds of zucchini and squash and stuff. So I don't know. It's okay. It is what it is. They lasted this long, so I'm happy with that.
Yep. And what do you think? We got about 100 to 150 zucchini and squash out of this.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good haul. So we'll take it. Over here, so we kind of already touched about it, but this is our pumpkins and then our sunflowers, which are just blooming like crazy, and they're just so beautiful. They look so good.
This is mainly why we're getting the diatomaceous earth, because we don't want them to get to our pumpkins.
Yeah.
We've worked really hard on these pumpkins. The kids are so excited about them growing and using them for Halloween, so we're gonna do what we can to save the pumpkins, and I have faith in the DE. I think it'll be fine.
I do too. We just don't want them to move over. So we might, if we start seeing it get real bad, which we probably will go ahead and just pull all that up and just get them out. Right now, they're staying over there, so we don't want to deter them to the pumpkins. But as you can see here, everything is looking fantastic. These are our Crazy Daisies and Deep South Homestead collab Cherokee tan pumpkins. They're just everywhere and variegated and beautiful and 100% healthy, and they look so good. Our Jack B. Littles have little pumpkins all over the place. Let's see if we can find a couple. There's one. There's one. There's one. Little pumpkins everywhere. Look at these beauties. It's early morning, so they're a little wilted at the time, but they're looking good, and there's still several heads to be opened. These are just so awesome. I love these. I love the multiple head sunflowers. But that is the tilled garden. It's almost impossible to walk in here because these things are just vining out like crazy. But we are so ready for some Cherokee tan pumpkins. We just got to beat the squash bugs. So we do have one update we want to give before we get too far. We have a new fish fertilizer brand. So we have been using, who was this one? Bare Ground Solutions Just Sensational fish fertilizer. Well, Travis, you all might be familiar with that name because a lot of people talk about it. But Travis at Haas Tools contacted us and said, hey, I know y'all like fish fertilizer. We want to send you some to try it out. So, you know, when it comes to organic fish fertilizer, they're basically all going to be the same.
You can't go wrong. You
can't go wrong. It's an organic, just full organic fertilizer. So they're all going to be basically the same. One thing we like about Haas Tools when Travis contacted is everything's made in America, like 100%.
Which is right up our alley.
Yeah, and you know, there's nothing wrong with international. It's just, you know, we like local as you can get. It's, to us, it's good to just put your money right back into the ground that you're on. So that's one thing cool about Haas. And we was like, hey Travis, we'll try it out. We'll see how it goes. So we put it on last night. So stand by, we'll see if there's any kind of difference. So
this is it, if you're interested. Like he said, we just did it last night, so we're gonna watch it, but I have no fears that it's gonna be awesome stuff.
Yeah. And
we're pretty excited about it. You know, we'll continue to buy it.
Yep. And so fish fish fertilizer. This one actually gives you a lot more instructions and details on how you want to do it. You can either do like seasonal fertilizing to where you use a lot more, or you can do like we do, which is weekly and dilute it with a lot of water. So it gives you a few options. If you don't want to do it every week, you can just actually do the ground and have it fertilized kind of seasonal at the beginning, middle, and end, or do it weekly. So that's kind of cool. We just want to touch base on that because a lot of people bought our Just Sensational. It's still 100% great. We didn't change because we didn't like it. So if you have it, you're still good to go. But we did switch up and we wanted to let you all know.
We'll let you know how it goes.
All right.
Here's our peppers. They are still doing great. Still no complaints, still no issues. They don't have any pest problems, no issues. They just produce like crazy. We've done a lot of stuff with peppers. We're freezing them, we're eating them, cooking with them, and it's really been a great year for peppers. Our best year yet, for sure. We usually don't get a huge pepper harvest, and that's from store-bought. These were grown from seed inside our greenhouse, and it's our best year yet. They're just awesome.
Yep, and everything's either Baker's Creek or M.I. Gardner. We didn't use any other companies this year. We get a weed beside it. It like kind of made itself look like a pepper plant, didn't it?
Goodness, I can't get it out. Stuck.
We'll get it with a new tool that I have. We'll show you all. But the peppers are doing awesome. We just harvested, so that's why not a lot of stuff's on here.
But you can still, they still have blooms everywhere. Yep. So they're just gonna keep producing.
Yes, they are.
Quite a while.
And they're strong and healthy. They have real nice strong stalks. We haven't had any issues with any on this bed on leaning over because of the weight of the fruit. Besides our Jimmy Nardello, which we'll talk about here in just a second. Look, babe, we got a few of those weeds that are coming up like in the middle.
We thought about planting more peppers for fall, but there's just really not any need to. They're still doing fine and they're still producing, so we're just gonna let these guys go. They're doing great.
Keep on rocking. Mr. Loofah, huge, big, beautiful, taking over everything. But we have a question. First time we ever grew loofah. I know a lot of people have watched some other people grow loofah and they've grown it themselves. When do you get fruit, folks?
Also, our flowers just continuously fall off, but the bees are over here 24/7. I see them pollinating, and I don't know why the flowers keep falling off.
But we don't have any fruit at all.
But I mean, look at this thing. It's basically a tree that turned into a bush in our yard. It's healthy. There's no issues.
No bugs, no anything.
And I know they're late producers, but like how late?
Right, like the pumpkins have beat this.
Yeah, so like, when am I gonna get a loofah?
You all let us know.
It's pretty, but I could have used this space for something else.
Right, we want something to produce here. We know that they don't dry out to about the October time frame. However, we don't know when we are supposed to see the fruit and like that distance in between. We expected to see fruit early, and it just took a while for them to grow and dry.
Right.
So let us know in the comments, please, because we're kind of baffled.
I mean, it's insane. I don't know if we're ever gonna get all these tendrils off of this cattle panel.
It'll eventually die, but yeah, I don't know. Y'all let us know. Yeah. Where's it? There it is. B. Mr. Loofah. They're everywhere. Everywhere.
They're pollinating. I don't know.
Baffled. Unless I don't know if they have male and female, like if that's just the males and we don't have any female flowers opening or whatever it is, like a zucchini, because a lot of people say it's like zucchini. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
It's just the male flowers and we're not having a female flower. So I know one thing, we ain't gonna hand pollinate this son of a gun.
No. It'll just be a pretty decoration.
Yep. All right, moving on from Loofah, what you got?
All right, all kinds of stuff. We got okra everywhere. They're producing slowly. They haven't really taken off yet. I mean, the plants are huge and we have all the beautiful flowers, but they're slow here. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, we've gotten what, a handful of okra.
Yeah.
So it's not bad. One thing we got to watch out for is Mr. Loofah here.
Yeah.
He likes to attach to the okra plant. So I have to keep moving him off so he doesn't kill him. But I think overall it's doing fine. They're getting really big and I think we'll start producing here soon.
Yeah, the plants are huge. This is a pepper. It's doing well. There's a little baby in here. So that random pepper got placed there, but most of the other peppers are over there. We've got bush beans here that are getting eaten alive.
Not growing them again.
No, but they are finally producing. Just not enough. I don't know. I'm really disappointed with bush beans this year.
I am too.
I'm just, oh, there we go.
Take the whole
Helps
plant with
when
you.
Break the plant. I'm just disappointed. I grew bush beans everywhere. I mean, they're in 3 beds, and the amount of beans I'm getting is just really sad.
It is.
So, I don't know. Honestly, we usually get our beans from a farm down the road. It's a non-GMO farm, and they grow everything. And that's where we usually get our beans for canning and freezing and stuff like that. This year we decided to see if we could do as much as we needed on our own, but I think we're gonna go back to the farm and probably not grow bush beans anymore because, I don't know, they take up room and they don't produce enough.
Yep.
I mean, when I get the beans, it's just like maybe enough for dinner. And I mean, that's just not enough.
Right.
I can them. Like, I grow stuff to can. So.
Right. We're doing this for dinner and preserving.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we have enough, which maybe we can do some more research and try to find the variety that we really need here.
I have 3 varieties growing. These are the Galapagos beans from Baker Creek.
Which is definitely the worst variety we have.
Yes. And I have a Tenderette bush bean that's local. It was grown from seed. And I have the Blue Lake bush beans from Emma Gardner, and all 3 of them are just really disappointing me.
The Blue Lake had a good couple harvests,
Yeah.
which we'll show that in just a second. And the Tenderettes, the plants are huge, but we have no production yet. So we're still determined on, or undetermined on how that one's gonna do totally.
Yep.
All right, these Chinese red noodle beans, they were everywhere yesterday. Oh my goodness. You think there's a lot hanging down right now. We cut, I don't even know, several pounds of just these Chinese red noodle beans. They really grow, they're awesome. They're really turning into our favorites. I know a lot of you all are growing them. They taste like a green bean. They're not stringy, a little bit more of a spongy feel.
Yeah, they taste just like them.
But you can freeze them. Jen's blanched and froze a bunch of them, and you just get so much out of one noodle bean.
Yeah, and these are Baker Creek variety.
Yep.
Which you can find them anywhere. They're just, you know, yard-long bush beans.
Yep.
Or yard-long pole beans. But we're cooking with them. We're freezing them. If you do freeze them, just blanch them real quick. I think I accidentally said in another video that you do it for 3 minutes. Don't do it for 3 minutes. About 30 seconds is what I meant. So do that and then let them cool down in an ice bath and put them in the freezer. And you use them just like regular beans. Pull them out when you want to. You can saute them. You can boil them. They're not as good boiled. They're better sauteed. So that's what we've been doing with them. They're just great producers. So,
Yeah.
you know, if you're tired of your regular pole bean, try these guys. They taste just like them and they produce more. So
Yeah, and they're very absorbent to flavor. That was something that Jen noticed. So whatever like flavor you're going for, the seasonings and any kind of liquid seasoning, they absorb that so well, kind of like a rice does. So you can really flavor them however you want to. Let's talk cucumbers and tomatoes. You got, oh, there's a big one up in there.
oh, curly.
Yep, and there's one right. Let's see, I got the thing turned around. He's hiding in there. There he is.
Yeah.
There's a big one. Cucumbers are struggling besides one plant, the one that we always talk about that wins. But it's just getting that time of year where they're starting to have a little rough time. But they're still producing, they're still growing. So we ain't taking them out yet. Oh, did you get stung by a little cucumber sticker? Cucumber prickly. We will definitely grow the Be It Alphas again next year.
Yes, they're the best.
It was an awesome variety.
Baker Creek variety, and they are the best cucumbers we have ever grown.
For sure. So Bonnie's Best Tomatoes. I am happy to say they produced the biggest tomato we have. It's inside. It was a 2-pounder, folks.
Sure was.
That one was supposed to be Gary's. I've been waiting for it to turn, but we got it in there. We're gonna slice it up and just fire it up. We do have quite a bit of leaf curl going on. And Luke from M.I. Gardner actually had a really good video. If you haven't watched it, he posted yesterday all about leaf curl.
Yep.
So at this time of year, see y'all. Tell you what.
I don't know.
Frosty.
Oh, there's poop.
Yeah, they're trying to get on there. Where'd he go?
Oh my goodness. Don't throw it on me.
Yep, it's getting that time of year, and with not being here in about a week, things are trying to take and make home. So, that was the one leaf curl that's a bad one, because caterpillars, they like to get in here and they'll go in and they actually curl this plant itself to try to make it a home and do it for protection. The other form that he said, which is what we have been having, is natural elements. If it's curling up, it's usually because it's either too hot, a little dry, a little wet, anything like that. So it's doing it to kind of protect the plant and you don't have to worry about it. However, the one you do need to really worry about is when the caterpillars are in it. And so you can just kind of open them up and see, see like right here. Hold this camera, babe.
Are you serious? Is he in there? Oh
See?
My goodness.
So that's what you don't want.
This is chaos.
Chaos. And we just neem oiled yesterday, but you know, the bigger pest, that neem oil won't kill them. It won't take them away. Because how neem oil works is
it's more for like little insects.
It is, but what it is, it absorbs into the plant. And then so when something eats the plant, that's what kills them. However, if it's a hardy bug, it might make them not feel the best, but it won't kill them. Neem oil is great at keeping things away. It's not good at getting rid of things,
right.
If that makes sense.
That's what diatomaceous earth is for.
Exactly.
Which is why we're gonna move to that step. Usually we're proactive, but we just didn't have any of these issues and we didn't think we would, so yeah, that's why we're gonna, oh, there's another one. That's why we're gonna move to diatomaceous earth. But on a positive note, we don't have blight.
We don't have blight. And we have a lot of tomatoes.
Yeah,
so,
there's no sickness, it's just pests. So we don't have blight. You know, the tomatoes aren't dying. They're just getting attacked by the pests. Yeah. But we don't have sickness or disease, so.
We ain't giving up.
No, we're not.
Before you go stop, this is our cucumber that is still doing the best.
Yeah.
He's all the way up here into the loofah and just is doing really well. I don't know what was specific about this one. It even had a shoot off and it's starting to come up and it's doing awesome. But they're doing great. We just gotta get these bugs taken care of. Variety tomato bed. These plants are huge. Man, they're way up there. Kids are up there making themselves breakfast, so that should be interesting. But these tomatoes, for the most part, are doing good. This Roma, I noticed, was starting to struggle a little while ago. What you got? Another bug?
I don't want to touch it. That made me itchy.
No.
It's not a bug, it's just an eating tomato.
Somebody been having fun with him for a minute. Yep, so this is all verdict of not being in your garden every single day. That's kind of the story of here. But that doesn't mean it's over. That doesn't mean that everything's gonna die. We can tackle this and we might lose a couple, but we got this. We're gonna keep powering on. The tomatoes, for the most part, are 100% healthy. These are some of our white cherries that you can tell got caught in the rain and try to split, so we'll get them harvested. This is some of the black brandywines that are still doing good. Another white cherry who needs to be pruned. Goodness gracious. Got one there, and this is a regular cherry tomato. It has got fruit all the way to the tippity top.
Tippity top.
Tippity top. This is an Aunt Ruby's German green, and it's really starting to produce. But the one Jen and I are excited to show you are these pink ox hearts.
Yeah, they're finally producing.
Look at these beasts.
They're so pretty.
So pretty, so big. Look at him down here.
That's I think it's 2.
Yeah. You got some here. Man, oh man. And so here's our Jimmy Nardello that I was telling you that was on a lean for us. But they have a very massive pepper. And we tried one just the other day with her dad because he came in when all the chaos was happening and stuff. We didn't know what it was gonna taste like. But we all three sat out here and took a bite out of it. That's the sweetest pepper.
It was so good.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
So if you haven't grown Jimmy Nardellos and you really like a sweet pepper, definitely grow it. It had 0 heat at all.
Smell. Is it fish fertilizer?
That and neem oil. Yeah, it's a little bit of a mix. The wind blew by and we got a nice whiff of it. But those Jimmy Nardellos are awesome. It's much sweeter. I don't even know what to compare it to because it's just that sweet. It looks like kind of a banana pepper, but just extra sweet.
Yeah. I wouldn't even cook them.
Just eat them.
Grow those just to eat straight from the garden.
Yep, they're that good. But everything else is really just doing well. We got tomatoes, we just keep harvesting them. More white cherries just growing up and growing up. They're all over the place. I've seen some people picking out some white cherries for next year. You will not regret it.
No,
they are so good.
Grow them.
Look at this brandywine. We're starting to get some massive tomatoes if we can keep everything living. This one I noticed the caterpillars got. This is another black brandy one. So we're gonna pull him once this fruit, the few that are on here, start blushing. We'll get it out of there.
Yep.
And then the comfrey, bigger than ever.
All right, here's my tea garden. It's got neglected. The only thing I'm really using at this point is the marigolds and my lemon balm. They're still doing really well, and I think I'm gonna take all this up because after the lemon balm, I've used what I can, and I can't do anything with any more. I don't need as much as I'm getting. It just produces so much. So I think I'm actually going to take this up and do a fall tea garden and do a little bit different stuff.
A fall tea garden?
Fall tea garden.
Watch out.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I've exhausted my resources here. I have they're on my shelf, they're in my fridge, they're everywhere. So we're going to do a fall tea garden and get rid of these guys. So stay tuned for that.
Whoa, watch out. Not the fall tea garden. Who knew? All right, these are the other bush beans that we was talking about. These are the ones we started in our greenhouse this spring. And they're producing fairly well. They're in there. And then the Rebel tomatoes are doing good. They've got a little leaf curl, not because of caterpillars, because of just the heat we've had. But they're getting tall, and like I said, they won't die. So we're hoping to take these as long as we possibly can here.
Does anybody else hate harvesting bush beans? I really struggle with it. I don't like putting my hand in there. Number one, because I don't know what's in there. And number two, I just don't like pulling them off. It just seems like they never come off the way they should. And I can't get scissors in there because I can't see. So I'm over the bush beans, if you can't tell.
Over the bush beans. They lit her down this year.
They did.
But the bed's doing really well. All right, well, she's still over there fighting with the bush beans. We'll move on and talk about this bed. So this one, we left a couple onions in here. Just because they were small, and we're like, what's the worst it's gonna do? We're not gonna plant anything in it. And they turned into great onions. Look at this. Pretty good little onion. And so Hostel's also sent us this cool harvesting bucket. It actually straps on your back, and it'll hang on your stomach area, so it's easy to harvest. One thing I noticed is it kind of gets in your way when it's on your back, and if you keep it on and you're trying to do, but it's pretty cool if you have a full load, you can just kind of sit it beside you, and then you can strap it on. But that's kind of neat. I thought it was cool. But
Onions.
who ever thought you would pick an August onion? We did, and they look pretty awesome. Jen's over with the other tenderette bush beans. Yep. The plants are huge, but they're really not producing anything yet. I'm just gonna finish pulling these onions up. I think that's one of our bigger ones. They didn't rot, they're really solid. They're good and they're healthy. So 4 onions in August that we didn't think we were gonna stand a chance. But there's your bucket. Woo! Pretty neat. So we also have carrots in this bed that are really doing good.
They're getting choked out by the bush beans, though.
Yeah, we might have to pull back bush beans to get them in there.
Aren't producing.
Right, look at these things, they're huge. That's the tenderets. And there's a bee, so we got pollinating. But those carrots, look at them. Man, summer carrots, summer onions, we just blowing everybody's mind.
These are the mini white cucumbers. You can see that guy down there. They're doing really good. They're producing. We haven't eaten one yet, so I don't know what they taste like, but we're gonna do it soon and we'll let you know. I just have so many cucumbers.
That's the one plant, and then here's the other one. This had 2 on them. They're climbing right up, spreading out everywhere. We got little mini whites everywhere. Have y'all noticed anything that calls itself white is more yellow? That's one thing we noticed. The white cherries, the white cucumbers, they're all mainly yellow, and that's at its ripest point. So some more cucumbers over here that are struggling a little, but still producing every day.
Oh,
there you go.
Splinters.
Look at them, let's see them. Cucumbers.
I got a whole mess inside.
Whole mess, and then we got some more over here. I think I harvested these, but everybody's up and over to the pallet trellises, which is awesome. What a success the pallet trellis was.
Yeah, they're
super happy about
awesome.
that. And make sure there wasn't one hiding in there. Jen's hydrangeas, I accidentally put a water hose on it, which I'll get that off, but they're doing really well. We mowed yesterday and things were nuts. Just trying to get this house and this area back together. But this one volunteer plant that the rabbits produced, we're still letting grow. I didn't mow over it. She's still kicking. We're hanging out here under Mr. Loofah shade.
It's getting hot.
Yep, but I hope you all enjoyed this garden tour. Oh, the apple trees, doing great.
Oh, they are. They're doing really good.
Yeah, it's down there, so it's a little bit of a walk, so we're just gonna stay up here and tell you all about them.
Yeah, we had a really, really rainy day, or 2 days, and they soaked it all up. They loved it.
And it looks like next week's gonna be like a 50-70% chance all week. We're gonna have a little bit of a cool down. I think I even saw next, like Wednesday and Thursday, it's gonna be 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. When
it doesn't rain, he takes 5-gallon buckets and waters them, so that's nice.
Yeah, and if you caught one of our lives, I think our previous live, I had forgot to put our tree plant food that we bought on the trees for the fertilizer as Job's fruit tree food. But I did put it on top so it could start absorbing down into the soil, so it's good. At least it's fertilized now, but they're doing great.
They are.
But I think that's it. I think that's all the garden. So chaos, right?
Yep.
Bugs, bugs, bugs. Doesn't mean you're gonna lose.
Nope.
It just means you gotta work harder to try to get rid of them.
You might lose the battle, but you won't lose the war.
That's exactly right. Because worst case scenario, we just pull them up and plant something else.
Yeah.
Still a long growing season.
Keep going though, keep neeming, keep fish fertilizing, and you know, we're gonna try the diatomaceous earth, and it's not something we've ever used before, but we're gonna try it. So a lot of people swear by it, so we'll let you know.
We do not want them to get them pumpkins.
Nope.
All right, y'all, well, that's all we got for today. We hope you enjoyed it. We're so happy to be back in routine. It feels nice. We love talking to you all. I think that's all I got.
I think so.
All right, y'all, until the next time.
Tomorrow's video, Clean With Me Greenhouse.
Oh, we're going ahead and calling it.
Yeah, we're gonna call it.
We're
gonna do it.
It looks like we just figured out what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
What we're doing today.
So that's gonna be really cool. It's a jungle, so stay tuned. You'll see a Clean With Me greenhouse.
We need to get in there.
Fun.
It's time for fall stuff.
It is. We gotta start planting.
That's right.
That's why we gotta get it cleaned up.
Yeah.
All right, we love y'all. We hope you have a fantastic day. We will see you in the comments, and we'll see you on the next video.
Until the next one.
Love y'all.
Bye.